Hey guys, how's it going? Marcelo here, and it's about time. Disney finally confirmed that Wreck-It Ralph 2 is in fact happening, and that's awesome. I think I've said this before, and I'm not sure what video before. I'm not sure if it was on this channel or maybe it was in Trash Talk on West Side Studios, because the way movies and games kind of, with this, there's a system I have here that it's my personal, solely my thing that I have. But there's like a little system I have to gauge like whether or not I would be comfortable, just me personally, would be comfortable with a movie or a game getting like a sequel or becoming a franchise or something or other, So, for the hell of it, let's just explain that real quick. And I can tell you, to tie this back in so it's not like I'm just going off topic already in the beginning of the video, I'll tie it into where Wreck-It Ralph falls in that little system. So, there are 3-ish stages I have, if I can remember correctly. I haven't used the system in a while, to how I personally feel certain movies or certain whatevers should get sequels. If a movie just kind of was like, it was okay, but I didn't care for it. One that comes to mind could be, let's say this, the TMNT movie, Michael Bay's TMNT. I forgot who the director was, and I'm pretty sure all you guys did too. It's pretty much Michael Bay's TMNT. A movie, it wasn't complete horseshit, as a lot of people like to say it was. I didn't think it was that bad, but not to say it was like a masterpiece or anything, but I really didn't think it was going to get a sequel. I still haven't seen the second movie yet. I don't know if I will, to be honest, and that's just the thing. So there's the lower tier of the system. I couldn't care less if it got a sequel or not. I don't think it really deserves it, but since there's one out for this particular example for TMNT, I mean, it looks like they're trying to appeal to the 80s fans from the 80s show a little more. They got Crane, and they got Bebop and Rocksteady, and they got Baxter Stockman and all of them, so I mean, I don't know. But that's kind of the lower tier. If it doesn't really matter to me, like, just to me personally, if it doesn't matter to me, then I'm like, does it really deserve a sequel? Whatever. Then there are the movies that are good, and I'd like to see more of like the world or more of the characters or what they can do. Let's just say it now, Wreck-It Ralph falls into that category because it was a really good movie, and I want to see more of the world, more of the characters. So I think it does deserve a sequel. Same thing with Incredibles 2, and we're finally getting that like in 2019 or something. I don't know why we have to wait that much longer. I mean, yeah, they do have some other, I guess, movies that they are working on as well that might be more immediate, but we're finally getting, Incredibles 2, and I'm excited for that, and now we're finally getting Wreck-It Ralph 2, so I can be more excited for that. And then just to, complete this little system, talk, there's an even higher tier from that, which is, it kind of combines the last two. If a movie was so good, it was like, oh my god, this is a really good movie. Let it be a one-off and done. Don't do any more sequels because you can't top it. That can sometimes apply to like a singular movie, like the Lego movie. I love the Lego movie, and it was so good. The fact that they're making a Lego Batman spin-off on that version of Lego Batman, and they're making a sequel, I'm like, okay, now it's gonna feel a little kind of, cashy, like we just want to do it because the first one did so good, but not because we want to tell more stories, because the first one had like a message and all that, and it was about creativity, it was about fun, it was about expressing yourself, and in what ways you could express yourself. And that was, what other fucking movie has done it to that degree? Like, the way they handled it was genius, I could say. It was genius, and how are you gonna top that with a sequel? What's the sequel even gonna be about? I'm forgetting the name of them, but the blocks, the other fun blocks, I don't remember what they're called. I can't believe I don't remember what they're called. I'll have it here. I can't remember the name of them, but the little alien guys, at the end of the movie, is it about them? I mean, what are you gonna make the sequel about? It starts with a B, I think. It's something blocks. I'm not remembering what they're called right now, I'm sorry, but those guys, I mean, what are you gonna do for a sequel? Now I said it can apply to singular movies like that, or it can even apply to the end of something, and they want to continue it. Like, I had a conversation about this with G-Man Rocks not too long ago, and the Toy Story trilogy was awesome, and it pretty much hit us, the 90s kids, and now they want to make a fourth movie? Why do you want to do that? The trilogy, as a whole series of, 3, that entity, that IP, that series, that franchise, Toy Story as a whole is awesome. It's done. It's over. Leave it alone. If you want to do like the little shorts, like for the holiday specials and all that, that's fine, because they're little holiday shorts. It doesn't really matter. They're funny and they're cool. But a fourth feature-length film that's a continuation after the third one, like, what? You know? Okay, so that's my, I didn't think I was gonna go too long on just that alone. That's my system. There's movies like TMNT where it's like, either they sucked or they're just like okay at best, and I couldn't care whether or not they got a sequel, although I personally would think that they really shouldn't get a sequel. There's ones like Wreck-It Ralph and like Incredibles where it's like, I love these movies. I want to see more of the characters, I want to see more of the world. You can do a lot more. So yeah, I would like a sequel. And then there's ones that are so good, like Lego Movie, where it's like, just stop there. You're fine. Just, it's a good movie, don't make any more sequels. Because, not that it's gonna ruin the first one or anything, but it's just like, that one was so perfect. How are you gonna, you can't top that with another movie in that same series, making it a series of 2, of 3, of whatever the case is, with the spin-offs and all that. I don't know. That's my thing though. Let's talk about Wreck-It Ralph. We got some new info today where we have a release date now for the film, which is, I want to say it was March 9th, 2018. I know it was in 2018. I really wish it was in 2017 because that would have been more cool. It would have been better, I mean, in my opinion. But then again, you don't want to, hold on, ooh, I'm talking so fast, I'm really sorry. You don't want them to rush it because, like I'm rushing my speech, because it'll be a mess. My speech is a mess when I talk too fast, and the movie could possibly be, you know, not as great if they rushed it. So the fact that it's come out in 2018, I'm gonna have to just, you know, deal with it. So, yeah. Anyway, let's talk about what it's going to be about. So we already know that John C. Reilly and Sarah Silverman are going to come back as their respective characters, and that's cool. I'm really hoping that Calhoun comes back, you know, Jane Lynch. I hope that her character comes back because she was really funny. And I'm thinking they're not going to leave her out. Hopefully they get Jane Lynch back. Olive said was coming back were the 2 other actors for Wreck-It Ralph and Vanellope. So with that being said, we were kind of speculating that if there ever were to be a sequel, maybe they'll go out of, you know, the arcade world and go into like PC gaming and the console gaming. Those are kind of the only 2 left, really, unless you count plug-and-play games from way back in the day. Which is the same thing as kind of like a console. It's a mini little console of just the joystick and some buttons. I mean, but you know what I mean. So that's exactly what's happening. They're going to be going into the PC world. Now that's all they've said. They've confirmed right now, first and foremost, right out of the gate. They said the digital world, virtual stuff. So now, because the first movie didn't have many modern things in it, it was mainly like a 80s, 90s kind of styled, you know, the setting was, it was an arcade, and the games, you know, first-person shooters are like the most modern thing that they have in that movie, and really it's not even so much as modern because first-person shooter games have been in arcades for the longest time. So I mean, technically, besides Skrillex is the only modern thing about the movie, and Owl City. Not even the Rihanna song they use is even that modern. That was like, what, early mid-2000s or something? So the only 2 modern things in that movie were 2 songs, one from Skrillex and the credit song from Owl City. Oh, and you can also count, I guess, the Sugar Rush song from, I forgot what was the name of the Japanese group? I don't remember, it's gonna be right here. I think they're kind of modern, I don't know. But, okay, so, speaking of modern themes, because, they released an image. Should I show it here, or should I don't know if they're gonna want to take this down. I don't think so. What? Fuck it, I'll risk it. There's the picture right there. The first ever, you know, artwork for this movie is right here, and as you can see, they make fun of themes from the interwebs, such as Google and Amazing instead of Amazon. So those are the 2 immediate ones that stick out right there because it's straight up the logos, and they look like the logos of Google and Amazon. Now there's a reason why I think that they're doing this, you know, they're doing that, and that's because it's pretty much the same team who worked on Zootopia. Like everyone, like the returning people that worked on the first movie are pretty much coming back, and a lot of other people that they got that were doing that did Zootopia are also going to be doing this movie. And right there with that little comparison of the fact that they use Google and Amazon and they're making fun of those brands and those logos, direct callback to Zootopia with Mousies and Targoat and all of that. So, but it begs the question, because now in Zootopia, one of the things, linked down below, I did a film reviews on it, and I said that one of the things that wasn't so bad because they didn't do a lot of it, but the fact that it was even there still was like, you didn't really need it, is the modernization of the fact that they have iPods and they're on their phones with their apps, and you know, they watch viral videos and all that stuff, and that's where it gets a little like, you're kind of dating it because that's what we're doing in this day and age right now, you know. So is Wreck-It Ralph 2 going to do that? Are we going to see, instead of kids going to the arcades, they're going to be at home playing Geometry Dash on their smartphone? Will we see the little Geometry Dash keyboard? Will we see, like, I made a joke to my brother before filming about Flappy Bird. If they make a Flappy Bird joke, like, the character himself appears and he's, like, trying to fit into other people's games because his got shut down or something, like, I don't know. So PC gaming, but when you think of PC gaming and just modern gaming, you'll think Steam, you'll think, you know, Steam, Valve. Can we see Portal in this at some point? Shell or like GLaDOS or something as a cameo, like a very in the back, you know, cameo. Oh, speaking of cameos, let's talk about that real quick. They want to get Mario in this one, finally, because they've only referenced Mario in the first movie, and if you read up on how they were doing in the first movie, they wanted to get Mario and Luigi in the movie. All they ended up getting was Bowser. And at first, we were all thinking it was because too much money, was Nintendo asking for too much, and in the end they just settled for Bowser. Not so much, it's that they didn't know where to fit Mario and Luigi in the movie as a good cameo. And that's kind of, you know, I kind of applaud them for that, because it's like, they didn't want to throw away those characters. Those characters were too important to that era, to where either they fit in really well within the movie, or not at all. Which is, which you kind of have, it's a give and take kind of thing. So I mean, you know, if they're going to be in this movie, then hey, awesome. They referenced them in the first movie, and Bowser is in the first movie. So now they'll have them, Mario and Luigi themselves, in the sequel, and that's really cool. So speaking of just other random cameos that I like to see, like Super Meat Boy, or you know, something or other. Like if you're gonna take Steam games a lot into consideration, there's a lot you can do there. No doubt, since it's PC game, outside of just, you know, Steam games and all that, you can also make fun of MMOs. You can have League of Legends or World of Warcraft. If they make fun of Call of Duty by calling their first-person game from the first movie Heroes Duty, and it's all dark and gritty and everything, then there is no way in hell they're going to pass up the opportunity to make fun of and parody League of Legends or World of Warcraft. You already know they're going to do it at some point or another, be it the actual brand of it there and the actual characters making a cameo appearance, or like the way they're doing Google and Amazing, they're gonna have they're gonna make fun of it and parody it instead of just straight up bringing that world into, like they did with Q-Bird and, you know, and Frogger and Sonic from the first movie. But what I'm trying to get at is, will we be seeing more modern things? I mean, it's kind of already apparent that we are, since it's PC gaming, and PC gaming in gaming culture is really huge. So I mean, there's a lot of implications, and that's another thing. How exactly are they going to move from the arcade, an older machine, to the virtual world in the first place? Like, okay, maybe they'll do this. I just thought of this, and I don't know why I didn't think of it sooner. I'm an idiot, but they live in the power protector, the surge protector, right? So you can just plug in whatever. That begs the question, can they go into like appliances, like a toaster or something? Or like, can they just go into anything that's plugged into their home, their surge protector? That's just a random thought I just had right now. But it really took some time for some reason for me to realize, you can plug in a fucking computer into a surge protector. I'm looking at mine right now. I'm an idiot. So I guess that's how they're going to go from the arcade. Like they're chilling out. I can just imagine it now. They're chilling out, they're hanging out, they're talking, and they're going about meeting new characters or whatever the case is in the surge protector, and then everything just gets unplugged. Maybe the arcade goes out of business, and they're like, "What's gonna happen? What about our home? What about And then everything gets plugged out, taken out of their surge protector, and then the surge protector like goes into storage or something, and then it goes up for like sale somewhere, and then some kid's parents get it, and they are like, we need a new surge protector for what the fuck ever, and then they plug in their PC into that or something. Like the kid is moving from one house to another, so they need more whatevers for their computer and such, and so then they take. I'm writing the movie in my head right now. so they buy the surge protector or whatever, and then like they plug it into their home, and then the kid plugs in his PC, and then boom, dozens of worlds, dozens of characters, all through. He has a Steam account or whatever, or he has World of Warcraft or League of Legends on his computer, and boom, there you go. They're plugged into like a whole other outlet, a whole other world. I would like to bet someone money on that. That's what's going to end up happening. Something along those lines. So writers for Disney writing the movie, did I hit any kind of targets while explaining that? I don't know. But yeah, so maybe that's what's going to happen. My initial question was, how are they even going to jump out of the arcade and into, you know, the PC world, the virtual world? So maybe that way, maybe some other not so convoluted sounding way. I don't really know. Something tells me that the arcade will go out of business. Like, they say that they've been there for like a long time. So with that being said, you know, things were coming and going. But maybe, you know, with just the games and the characters and them being self-aware and all that, maybe just it's caused too much of a problem somehow with them all jumping around doing whatever, because as it turns out, you can just do that. You know, they found a place for Cuber and all them inside Wreck-It Ralph, the game. So with everyone doing everything and it gets all weird, like, what if games start acting up? What if games just stop working at all because those characters aren't in their game, they're in another game, and all that kind of stuff. And so then that's how the arcade goes out of business. You know, somehow, some way, I think the arcade, I'm just speculating right now, I think the arcade will go out of business in the movie. That's how it'll start, and that's how they start wondering, oh shit, what we're gonna do, where we're gonna go, what's gonna happen, you know? So that's my 2 cents on that. The fact of the date being, you know, March of 2018, it's a ways away, so I mean, you know, we've got to keep waiting, but at least we're getting it, and that's awesome. So, I can only imagine what G-Man's thinking right now. He's a huge-ass Disney fan, so, and the fact that a lot of people that worked on Zootopia are working on this, you know, I'm pretty sure he's hyped. So, what do you guys think of this? Is there anything else I wanted to say? That was the main thing, is I'm a little tentative on the whole modern side of it, of like, are we going to see smartphones everywhere? And if we do, I hope it's not like emoji, like we're getting an emoji movie at some point from Sony Pictures, which is like the most stupidest thing ever, right there next to the Tetris trilogy. But I don't want to see modern stuff like that, of like people saying BRB, LOL, JK, smiley face. You know, I don't want that kind of stuff in the Wreck-It Ralph movie. They didn't do anything like that in the first movie, so there is absolutely no reason to do it in this one. That's my only little like with this movie right now. But right now it's very minimal, because I feel like they're gonna do it right. I hope they do it right. So yeah, and I hope we get a lot of cool new characters, and which I think we have to. It's PC gaming and virtual game. There's no way. Maybe they'll even, since now VR is a thing and it's really up and coming and it's pretty much here now, they're probably going to mess with that for a little bit, I could imagine, in the sequel. So I mean, you never know. What do you guys think will happen in this movie? Who do you think will be in this as for cameo appearances, or maybe for since Cuber was like a mainish kind of more of a secondary character throughout the movie, the first one? Will Mario be the secondary? That would be cool if Mario was the secondary character of this movie, like the way Cuber was for the first one. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. I'm Marcelo. I'll see you guys later, and take care. Here's to waiting until frickin' March of 2018. Take care.